Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome. You're welcome to the show. Welcome to ID My Media and Radio and Television. Your host is Fritz Misodi. Today we are going to be talking about this corruption going on in in La Republique's Douala seaport. Okay, it has come to our notice that for the past years, the Douala seaport has been the worst seaport you can ever do your business in, and the people of Cameroon has no choice. We're going to be talking about that. Then we're going to be talking about the false promises that the Biya regime has given to the people of Amazonia about creating of a new seaport in Victoria, Limbe. Let's start first with the corruption of this port. The port of Douala, which has been entirely managed by a single state body since this Bolloré Bolloré SR is the French company. Okay, Bolloré is still the company that is dealing with those port and also with the train. He's taking care of the railway and the seaport. Okay, this is the company, and the management of this container terminal of the Douala seaport is still under the control and management by Bolloré. This is, as I said, it's a French company that has been managing the seaport since 2004. It is a long time, okay, that the Biya regime privatized these companies to foreign companies, right? Because the government cannot manage it. Okay. Now, when you send your container, okay, to the port, right? It is very difficult for you to determine what is going to happen to your containers, right? Very difficult, because one, you don't know exactly how much you can really spend. Okay, the bribery and corruption, it's a major issue at that port of Douala. Many Southern Cameroonians entrepreneurs has lost millions of francs to that port of Douala. Just loading your container, take it to the port, that's it. You don't even know how much to take out your container. You don't even know an estimate. So you pay sums of money, millions of francs, yet these people, they call themselves declarants. They will still find way to manipulate you there and calling all kinds of names of things that the government doesn't even know have any account about. Okay, the custom officers are so corrupt, so much so that they don't even know that people, that is, when you bring your thing to the port, you bring your container from abroad, you have an estimate of your goods inside, but without even thinking of how much this man can make, the profit that this person is doing the business, the profit that this person will make for that container, they don't care about that. Okay, King Biya has put the Bulu people there. The Bulu people are at the head of this port, most of those key positions. They are there just to enrich themselves. Okay, if you have been to the port, you understand very well what this is all about. I want you to listen to this Amazonian entrepreneur who have just said he will no longer do business or doing import and export, because what he has seen at that port is a disgrace. He has lost everything. I want you to take a listen to him. And he lost everything. This is the guy. Listen to him.
My fellow customers, this is the CEO of Tyson's Corner General Merchandise and Shipping, Import-Export. I have been doing shipping for close to 8 years. It has been a very, very big struggle. But at this point in time, Cameroon Customs, or I can even put it in a global sense, Cameroon government is a complete, total disgrace. Custom officers will frustrate you. In fact, they will squeeze everything you have, frustrate you, and force you to leave the shipping business. Some of my friends told me, Mr. Adolf, you give it up. I said, no. What? How come? You bring a container to Cameroon. This container will be checked. There's what they call visit. They will pull out about 50 or 60% contents of that container out of the seaport. They will check it. They will do a manual report identifying each item that's in the container. They will give you that report. You take that container 3 minutes away from where it has to go. Another custom officer will stop that container. That they did not do an inspection well. What do they want? Money. You take that container 10 minutes, you are still at the Douala seaport, you are not out yet. They will hold you for money. Before you even leave the custom office, like you are exiting the port, a custom officer will tell you that, oh, said container is ciblé. Those French words that I have no clue what it means. Some people say it's target or was targeted or whatever. They will say, on ta ciblé ton container jusqu'à Yaoundé. That is the order is from Yaoundé. That your container is a target. What do they want? Money. You will take that container out of the Douala seaport within 10 meters. They will say one douanier mobile. They will come. What do they want? Money. 50 meters away, there's another one that will come. They say Akomi. What do they want? Money. When I'm talking money, we're talking hundreds of thousands. You will leave Douala. By the time you get to Bekoko, there's a custom checkpoint there. What do they want? Money from that same container. You pass Bekoko, leaving La Republic of Cameroon, and going towards southern Cameroon, you get to Tico. There's a checkpoint there. What do they want? Money. And as those people in Tico, when they take you money, they will ask you, let the shah say, oh, where are you? I mean, where would they offload this container? You tell them it's Moya or it's Limbe, whatever. They will pick up a phone and call their friends that, bon, il y a un conteneur qui descend là-bas à Biya. Donc, il faut suivre ça. If that guy was going to the market or going to the hospital, the guy will stop, pick up his custom uniform and start following that container. When you want to offload the container, they will come there. Donne-moi le dossier. What do they want? Money. You realize that it is almost something that is unbearable. There is no consumer advocate. Who will you report to? There is nobody you can talk to. There is just nobody. Everybody, for that single container, you realize that just bribe alone because there is nothing.
Wow. So this is just one of the thousands of Southern Cameroonians who are doing business in La Republic. These stories are just many of them. Okay, you know, you can have a container worth, for example, 1 million. Okay, you go there and they'll charge you 5 million. How do you survive? I still respect anybody who is doing shipment and clearing containers at that Douala seaport because I know how corrupt it is. I'm telling you, because even clearing container and at that place is not easy. Yes, corruption in La Republic is at its worst, and if we do not, if these people think that that country will get better, It's getting worse and worse every day. This is when we start our crisis, when the crisis started in 2016, people did not understand that that crisis has a lot more to do. It wasn't just about one thing, it was about everything. But the irony is that that same regime of Biya is begging for foreign investors to come and invest. How can you come and invest in that kind of environment? One, you are first of all discouraging your own citizens to come and invest. You are first of all discouraging your own people. The environment is not favorable. Okay, normally more businesses yields more revenue. Okay, and more opportunities for the people. But when you discourage people who are coming to open businesses, they will rather exploit you, exploit your business. They make you go out of business. When you hear these stories, okay, that tells you Douala Seaport is the worst place that you can ever come across concerning documents, frustrating people, walking up and down. When you load your container, the stress of your container is not even the stress of that container. It's the stress of what you meet in Douala Seaport. All right. When you ship containers, you ship cars, you ship goods, you don't even know. Whereas there should be a system where you know the price of goods. You know that if you carry 2 days of days, this is the estimate, or this is how much you're going to be charged. Okay. But when you see a regime that is falling, it's when you see that kind of regime that everything is just corrupt, people are doing things without even any sense. You buy a small car that you want to go and use for your personal use. The money they charge to you is as if you want to sell it to make money. I mean, I don't understand. There are things that when you see, you say, wow. The country that, to me, they should stop using that Douala Seaport. But how can you stop using Douala Seaport when Biya has not fulfilled his promise to open the Limbe Seaport, which is a deep seaport? Douala is a creek. Douala is a creek full of sand. They dig that sand every year, every time, because when rain falls and that water comes there and fill the seaport, ships cannot even come inside. They have to use dig it, because it's not a deep seaport. It's a river. It's a creek. It's a creek. The thing is that the government cannot run this thing. That is why they are doing privatization of companies. Yes. If you have not imported goods to Cameroon, you won't understand what importers are going through. Try and send one container sometime, so you experience the heat, the mafia and chronic corrupt personnel at that Douala Seaport. Very, very alarming. Try and just send a container. You load a 40-foot container for about 1.5 million to 2 million. You want to bring it back home. They will charge you some amount of money that you say, how do you make money? They have frustrated a lot of business people like this. This is not the first. When you have this kind of mentality where people are sending their containers, then they'll be making that kind of allegations. Know what they are going through. Know what they are going through. Yes, because what these guys are going through is really, really, really tough, because you send a container, what you see is only corrupt people coming to ask you for money, when the container itself, listen to this guy, continue listening to him.
You cannot report to anybody. It's a banana republic. Everybody is doing what they think is right. They subdue the population, they intimidate the population until you don't even know your rights. One day I called a senior custom officer, attack him. He used to work in Limbe. I said, bro, come on now. I don't ship container. Just a carton of wine. Just say, no. Nobody has to disturb you with that, because that's for personal consumption. We don't want these things if and only if you have the quantity that we think it is destined for distribution. But in Douala, once the custom officer see a bottle of Biya, if they had a chantier, they will call their contractor that they should go back to work, because they know they will squeeze money from you. It's so pathetic. The country is finished. Cameroon is one of the worst countries that is existing in this world. My advice to anybody who wants to engage in this business is, if you want to do shipping, make sure they screen you for a lot of stuff. You should be working with high blood pressure medication, and you have to do anger management. Then you take a little bit of a small course in conflict resolution, especially with uniform officers. Because if you don't do those three things, I promise you, shipping will be one of the worst side job version that you're taking. To all my customers in this forum, it's been a very, very, very good journey working with you guys. But Cameroon government have succeeded to frustrate me. I can't do shipping anymore. Unfortunately, I have to quit. Unfortunately, I have to quit.
I like that part where he said that you need high blood pressure medication, you need different type, you need conflict resolution treatment or course. You need this thing for high blood before you load a container. And it's true. That pour is the worst. Okay, is the worst. To me, if not that Biya has not fulfilled his promise to open our Limbe seaport, they close it intentionally. Limbe seaport Victoria would have been the best, because that's a deep sea, Atlantic Ocean. It's an ocean. It's not a river like Douala. Douala is a small river. It's a deep. It's a river where we can have international. But they intentionally close it, just like they close the other our companies. Okay, this is what I'm saying, that if they open this Victoria seaport, why will you bother to go and be open to go and use the seaport in Douala, when first of all it's very expensive? The Douala seaport is a nightmare if you have not gone there. Okay, you will never know what it takes until you get to receive some goods, or you ship a container, because every single process has a middleman. They will go and do visit of your container. Visit is to assess it, your container. After that, next custom will come. They say this, they say that, they say this. And it's even hard to get well without that. In Douala seaport, you have to clear every process. So the process, you go for next process, go to the next process. That is how it is. Man, if you have not imported goods to that country, Cameroon, Douala, you won't understand what importers are really going through, right? That real mafia going on in that seaport. Yeah, that is why Cameroon has a problem. It's a shame that if the Cameroonians themselves, like Republic people, they don't understand that they have to rise up. Okay, you have this kind of corrupt thing now, you go and report to the anti-corruption. They call it anti-corruption. They will instead collect you more money even. Instead of arresting the people that are corrupt, they will instead corrupt the corrupt. That country really needs reform in all aspects. All aspects. Okay. You fresh custom officers graduate from custom. The number one thing they think is how to collect bribe. They don't think anything. Customs will finish from Enam before it's 2 years, 3 years. They already make millions and millions just because of this act that they are doing. People who go to Enam already know that when they graduate, they have to be trained to corrupt, to how to take bribes. They are training them how to make money fast. In a poor day, how pitiful it is. You have people who have abandoned their containers, people who have abandoned their vehicles because they don't have money to remove them. Then these custom officers, what they do is that at the end of the year, they will do auction. They auction all this. People's livelihood abandoned like that. Abandoned. People's life. There are many stories of people who bought small cars, things, you bought goods from maybe different countries, you bought this, you bring there, your business just collapse because they intentionally make you stop doing business. Okay? I don't know. I will not even spend my money to bribe to enter Enam because I know I want to train my son or daughter to go and come out and be corrupt. Because there's nothing that these people are doing that. All what they do is corruption. All these custom officers. Okay, it's a very, very terrible system. You pay all this money, they don't give you receipt. The government does not even know how much people are taking from these different areas, but yet the seaport is still owing these foreign companies called Bolloré. Cameroon, La Republique, is the worst corrupt nation in this world. I'm telling you. Because what they do is that you are coming from Enam, you pay bribe to enter Enam. Okay, they will teach you how to corrupt so that you get your money back fast. Most people who come out from Enam, they should make like 200,000, 300,000, right, per month. But go to Douala Seaport and see how much these custom officers make every month. It's mind-blowing. You bring a car, they intentionally higher the price of that car so that you abandon the car. If they love that car, you know, people abandon that car, then they already start looking for people to buy the car. Because you abandon it, if you bring a car that is newer, that's why the system in other countries are different. Other countries, they charge lesser for new cars, so that they should encourage people to come with newer cars. But in Cameroon, because of the bribery and corruption, they discourage people to bring new cars, because you bring a new car there, man, you are dead, you're finished. Yes, you pay more than 8 million to remove a container that you cannot even sell 5 million. How do these people? These are 419 people, 419ers, because you know that you go and do visit in, they call it visit when you go and inspect a person's container, check everything that is there, then you come now with the assessment. You understand that this person's container will not even make profit. Why not just know that this is to encourage this business, these young entrepreneurs? No, they don't encourage you. They want to squeeze the little thing you have. telling you. Even if you are an expert, if you know how to clear your goods, that thing that they say, oh, I have a declarant, I have a those people are thieves, all of them. They work with the custom officers. They call themselves declarant. Declarant what? They are still thieves. The government does not even see this money. This money that the people receive from one, because they don't give you a receipt. Sometimes they give you a receipt, but it's just like a paper thing that will just sign. It's just terrible. It is terrible. These custom officials are the most corrupt people that you can think of. Very, very corrupt people. Sometimes I'll prefer you even sending your goods via the port of neighboring Nigeria, because they don't want to open our port in Victoria. You see, they have scanner, they will scan your container. That scanner doesn't even matter, because even if they scan it, they will still open your container and go inside, taking out things. The only way they do it is to really assess how much you can really make for this business. You see, in most countries they have scanners. They will just make that container like that. They scan it. They believe what your receipt is saying, right? They will just pass because there are many thousands of containers, but because of corruption, the Republic does not even have a scanner to scan a container. Even they have that scanner, they want to go inside. Their intention is to make sure that if you are making 1,000, they are making 1,000. If you are making 2,000, they want to make 2,000 on that container. They want to share your profit for you. That's how bad it is in that custom. Very, very bad. Yes. Now, let's talk about the promises that President Biya has been making since 19 whatever. Biya came to power with that idea that he want to assimilate our people. He want to make sure that our people do not have anything. Most of our resources was squandered intentionally, just to make sure that our people do not see the light of day. Had it been we had our port back, had it been we had, look at this, are what Biya intentionally destroyed. That's why our people are suffering today just to ship containers. They intentionally squeeze you, make you go out of business. These are things that, see, we had all these things, and you see the Douala seaport is not even a major port, right? See, Victoria Wharf, then the dockyard, they have the deep seaport. Even Tico had a seaport. Look at all this. These seaports were there. Look at this one that you see. Seaport that we were not supposed to be shipping our goods in Douala. We were not supposed to. But since Paul Biya is good at telling lies and giving fake promises, he made it Biya gives Limbe Port Authority autonomy, or what? Come on. In the what they call Grand National Dialogue, this was one of the first promises that they gave. Oh, Douala, Victoria Seaport, Biya has opened to Victoria Seaport, but they will not make it international. That is the, see. Then comes, this is just misrepresentation and foolishness of facts. Biya gives seaport to Limbe. How? That same seaport was there since back in the days, but they only make it such a way that it will just go out of business. the the funny thing is that how can Biya create a natural resource, a natural seaport? Hmm? Soon they will say Biya has created Boya Mountain. Eh? They abandoned the Victoria Seaport. They abandoned the Tico and the Bali. All these resources was abandoned intentionally. Okay? Intentionally. And they will have that guts to say, oh, Biya has opened a Limbe Seaport. There was already a natural deep seaport in Victoria since Atlantic Ocean shares its shores with Victoria. Okay? So it's just politics that they created Douala and Kribi Seaport, which are creeks, not natural seaport. Remember, and there was one time this Kribi Seaport that you see today, they gave the one Korean company, but this was back in 2012 that I remember, because one Korean guy who was working in that Korean company told me, because I was also working in one Korean company, told me that they came to do feasibility study to build a seaport. They sent them to do the one in Kribi and to do Limbe. The Korean guy told me that they have done their feasibility study. Limbe Seaport, Victoria Seaport will be the best, because it has a natural sea. They don't have to spend much money to be digging. So these creeks you have there in Douala and Kribi, the government ordered the Korean company to build the one in Kribi, not in Limbe. This is 2012, I'm telling you. So if you understand what this government is trying to do, then you understand. Our people are suffering today to ship their containers. Many of us abandoned this container business long ago. We were telling our people that stop using that seaport. Stop using it. Because they intentionally frustrate you so that you run out of business. Okay? Yes. Victoria Coast is already bordered by a sea, right? Biya doesn't need to approve it to be a seaport. All they just need to do is to start the business there. They abandon it in favor of the Douala and later Kribi port. When Korean government was asked to build that port, remember, they told Cameroon government after that study that Limbe Seaport will be the best, and it's not a lie. But the Cameroon government rejected it and ordered them to build that one in Kribi, just because this is in a La Republique zone. This happened since back then in 2012. So that Korean government was there in 2013 to do that feasibility study. Okay. It is just sad that our people don't want to teach us to learn from this history. Okay, they still think that something good can come out from a rogue regime that is so corrupt. Okay, and they don't want to teach students this. Okay, this is not the history that they teach students. Okay, and remember when Agbobala was, he's a history lecturer, right? He was teaching some stuff about these things, and the students were very happy to understand their history. But Agbobala was called behind and warned that, please don't teach this history to the children. So the history that we have to teach you guys, or they have to teach you guys, is a history of lies. Okay, history, fake news history that does not have any benefit to the children. Because how can the young ones grow with fake news? How can they build a nation on lies? You can't build a nation on lies. Okay, you can't. You see, the the solution, economic solution, political solution, all the solution is just that the government does not know how to do it. The government is out of sense. Okay, the joblessness, the economic underdevelopment, all these are caused by the government don't know how to do it. Okay, we, the people of Southern Cameroon, are already a thriving country. Okay, before we had everything. Okay, but just this fact that, imagine, just build, if this, for example, for the sake of jobs, right? Build one airport in Tico, that airport that was there. Rebuild our Limbe Victoria Deep Sea Port. Revalorize the Tico Wharf to give it status of a port, right? And the other two, the one in Manfe, the one that used to be in Bali, they all this is just something that you can do for job sake. The airstrips that we had, airstrips in Guti, Bali, Akwaya, Womb, and Kambe, these are all means of giving our people jobs. Not riding bikes. Not riding bikes. Our people, these youth should not be bike riders. They should be entrepreneurs, boosting the economy. Okay, when you give them bike, you say you are giving them job. Just this, I'm just telling you how the government has crippled our economy in Amazonia. If they can construct a railway from Kumba, Limbe, direct to Bamenda, from Kumba to Nguti, Manfe, to go straight right to Kumbo, build a connection of our railway to, to connect our, that's all what development entails, connecting towns and cities. Construct a ring road and a railway from Bamenda to Wom, Fundong, Ndop, Kumbo, Kambe, linking Bengui, Batibo, Bali, and Jikwa. Those areas, when you link them up, okay, you have access to the abundant iron ore, manganese, gold, and gas located in the northern zone. Right? So this government intentionally does not want to link up these towns and cities, because if you link them up, that's where, okay, now we have the hydropower, right? The one in Menchum is gone. The one that used to be in Umbe in Mutengene is gone. These are our high. We were not having light blackouts and this shortage of electricity before. We were not. If this our hydroelectricity power come back, there will be thousands of jobs created that can provide electricity. They provide attractive and enormous income to Amazonia. The economic problem is the issue of the political problem. We have declared our statehood. The Biya government is still struggling with its economy, still struggling with the corruption, mismanagement, and all this lack of development vision. We know how to build Amazonia. We don't want anything to do with these guys. They have messed up their country. They have messed up everything. The system of education that we have is not the same. Okay, our educational system, our cultural, our judiciary, our language system is different. You cannot want to mix things that is not even progressive. Okay, positive peace can hinge on the pillars of this human right, justice, accountability, good neighborliness. The only thing we can be now with La Republic is just be as neighbors, because Once a neighbor, you remain a neighbor. Once a neighbor, you remain a neighbor. Okay? Today, no one can show us what citizens have benefited from this national integration that we had with these people, except that a particular set of people have become richer. The Betty Bolo and all these things, they are gaining from all this wealth. Okay? They have fraudulently taken over our resources, adopting their own economic, their own political and social system that they think that can better fit them. But is that the solution? Then they say an Anglophone, an Ambazonia will never be president in that country. So good and fine, but we will not. For the past 60 years, what have we gained from that regime? Nothing. Ambazonians, shine your eyes. We are not turning back. No turning back. We are moving forward. You see what this Manjomba marriage have cost us for the past 60 years. Lost everything, and some of you still think that something good can come out from that regime. That is your cup of tea. We are gone. Stay blessed. Stay blessed. God bless you. Have a happy Sunday. Have a happy Sunday.